Yes, to stand by very shortly. That was a nice sweet pause. We'd like to have the pause for effect before we talk to Jason Bryant from the Wine Vault. Here we go.
The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Wine Vault Radio with Jason Bryant from winevaulttv.com.
It's becoming a habit, isn't it, Jason? The Wine Vault.
The pause.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Exactly.
How you doing?
Very, very, very well. You?
It's very, very well.
How's your bruise?
My
Your man bruise.
My man bruise on my butt.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking. It's
good.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm living.
Well, that's good. That's good. Very good. We've got Hamish still with us in the studio. He's going to taste some wine with us.
We do. Hamish Coleman Ross is still here.
Yep. He's going to report back on it. Yep. And I've just gotten back from Oz, which was a very, very successful trip. It's Connect Now.
That's why you weren't here last week.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
What's Connect Now?
It's kind of, I guess, a social media marketing conference for all levels of business and interaction. From PR through to people's stories, through to how to use these tools. Run by Siobhan Bulfin of Wellington, of all places, in Sydney.
Wow, that's cool.
So she's done a really good job. She hooked up kind of a whole load of kind of the most influential people in the States and Canada and possibly globally on these platforms and took them all to Sydney. Then she got a few other guest speakers from around Australia. And Simon Young of SY emceed it, and he was fantastic.
And who was there that really excited you? That some guests.
Simon Mannering, who was the global creative director for Ogilvy, he was fantastic, really inspiring. Gary Vaynerchuk, who everybody knows that's the business model I use.
Yep.
And we spoke about that, and we did Wine Vault TV, and we kind of
you got a one-on-one with Gary V.
It did my whole kind of Wine Vault TV with him, and then
just to give everyone an idea, that this guy's a superstar in the wine world
and social media world.
At the moment.
Yeah.
Or anyone who's watching sort of online video on a regular basis might be familiar with Gary V.
Anybody who's in that social media space probably will have heard of him at some stage, and. So that's quite an honour. And then he asked me to kind of work with him on a project.
Cool.
On a website called Corked, which is wine reviews, and I'm going to be the New Zealand reporter for the industry down here.
So currently, this website Corked doesn't have anything coming from New Zealand.
No, not really.
Wow.
Apart from user-generated content,
yeah,
which is kind of wine reviews. But I'm going to do kind of the region roundup.
Great.
So that's pretty cool. It's quite nice to be asked.
You're like the ambassador.
Exactly. And then I met Brian Solis, He puts the public relations back in, or the PR back into public relations, and he's written a book, Engage and Die, and...
is he putting the P or the R in?
It's both in. I tell you, he dresses like this really kind of slick dude, kind of, and his presentation is exactly the same, but then off stage, he's exactly the same as that as well.
Yeah.
He's just Mr. Slick. His presentation was freaking awesome. The most exciting, engaging... slick presentation I've ever seen.
Right. So what do you take away from it? Apart from being excited.
Inspiration about how to do it, what not to do, different tools that you can use, and there's and
when you're saying do it, are you talking about like engaging online, finding new audiences, getting a good conversation going?
Find out what your goal is first, and then just dive in, get engaging, and just basically get the most passionate person in your corporation. Get them to do it, and then even if they come from like the post room or the cleaner, if they're the most passionate person about your industry and about your business, get them to do it. Then that creates competition.
Been talking about that recently, and there are some examples of some large organisations in New Zealand that really engage in social media, but it is just the one person within that organisation. What happens when they leave? Because they're representing a brand.
Yep.
And then
there's competition for the rest of the department or the business to get someone else into that spot. That creates competition, so you always find the
personality
best person.
changes, isn't it?
Personality changes, but you still need a personality behind the brand.
It's kind of like Doctor Who, right?
Yeah,
the man's the same, but the personalities change.
I mean, it was like Star Wars for me. Kind of like we had kind of episode 4, 5, and 6, and then we went back to 1, 2, and 3. Everybody had changed.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it was still palatable.
Right.
For most of it. Apart from Jar Jar Binks, who just, made me feel quite queasy.
Let's forget about him.
Yeah. But just get the most passionate person in your organisation to do your account, and you'll win. Providing that they're passionate about your product, you've got nothing to lose.
We all want to win.
And we're going to win right now.
Yeah. We always win. Every time you do that,
Sound
we
of
win.
romance.
Yeah. That is beautiful. What are we opening?
We are opening the Devil's Staircase Pinot Noir from Central Otago. It's the second label of Rockburn wines. I'll give you
Thank you, sir.
a little taster.
Oh, thanks, Jason.
So it is the Devil's Staircase. What is it? It's a
Pinot Noir, Central Otago.
Yep.
Predominantly Bannockburn fruit, so it gets pretty hot. Should imagine, 14% alcohol.
So can you get that up on camera? Camera 2 once again. Cheers.
14% alcohol. Should imagine it's probably sitting around 14.5 realistically. And the second label of Rockburn wines, which have been heavily discounted of late. They used to be a premium wine. Now they've come down somewhat. So you do get the colour. It's kind of a plummy, ruby kind of colour.
You can see through that.
You can see through it, yeah. All I get on the nose is this kind of like rosemary and thyme meets kind of strawberry jam.
It's more strawberry jam. I do get that as well.
Yeah. Do you know that, I forget that, not premium, but kind of almost premium mammoth or whatever it's called. Jam? Anamos? Well, that's the jam that I'm talking about.
There's a bit of like... This is going to sound a bit naff.
No,
but,
it's not.
Wet grass.
That's fine. Yeah.
Wet grass. Yeah. In a good way. I like it. I like, straight after a fresh
Very
rain.
fruity, I've got to say. What year is it? 08. So it's had a bit of time in the bottle.
Yeah.
It's got some pretty firm, very firm acid there, and quite grippy.
Quite sort of dry afterwards.
Yeah. It's definitely a second kind of label wine. Get plenty of fruit there. It's got some pretty good structure. I thought we'd actually bring more to the table than what it is. I thought it'd be a bit more kind of bit more smooth than what it is. I mean, it's quite aggressive.
It's a little bit tingling on the tongue.
Yeah, you get a bit of that. But I mean, pretty good food wine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it sits below $20 as well.
It's quaffing wine,
it's quaffing,
isn't it?
Yep. I'm not sure I could.
I can imagine chucking this in a jug in the centre of the table. Way you go, lads.
And it probably does need a bit of decanting to be fair to it.
That's
You know,
what I was
I'm being a bit
thinking.
harsh.
Nothing wrong with a bit of decanting, though.
No, absolutely. I recommend it and advocate it for all wines. Red or white, fine or filtered.
Really?
Yep.
If you've got the opportunity, like if you've got a bit of time, you just want to chuck it into something, do it.
Absolutely, yeah. You get much more pleasure out of your wine, but I've got to say, most people drink their wine within 20 minutes of kind of purchasing it. So the reality is that
Bottoms
kind
up.
of like, yeah, exactly.
We didn't get Hamish's opinion.
Yeah, come on, Hamish.
What are you
It's the
thinking,
best
Hamish?
breakfast I've had all week.
Sorry,
Probably the only
closer to
breakfast.
the mic there.
It's the best breakfast I've had all week.
Probably the only one, being a struggling journalist, kind of, aren't they all? Kind of.
Oh, no. Sometimes I have vodka.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whiskey. Nice to have some wine. So it's the best one I've had all week. Thank you.
So it does bring quite a bit to the table, but it's not as much as I thought it would. I think I want that silky smooth kind of character, which I'm not getting from this. Pretty good value for money, so it's under $20.
Oh, that's good. Yep.
Yeah. Usually you're paying for kind of an entry level Central Otago wine, kind of 30 to 35. So yeah, it's doing all right. Points wise,
Yeah.
85, 86. There are a lot of other wines that kind of in this category that taste fairly similar to this.
You say 85, 86, is that also based on price
Yeah,
as well?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a lot of other wines right now on the market that are kind of like this. So it's a bit too generic, but good quaffing wine sits under $20. So yeah, 86 points.
I've got to say, just before we go, what is it about wine now on a Friday at this time that just seems so damn normal?
Exactly. It's the only morning of the
It
week
does. It's like
where I can actually drink wine before, or
Feels like
taste wine before kind of like 12 o'clock.
feels like I'm having a drink in the evening. It's no difference.
Well, I'm surrounded by good company, you guys.
Oh, stop it.
I know.
Get your hand off.
I know, I've been away.
guys.
I've missed you.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, come on,
Well,
group hug.
Okay, yeah, exactly. So yeah,
That was Wammo kissing himself, by the way.
yeah.
There was no touching.
And
going
one
on.
of the other things, whilst in a quick little snippet of my
Yep.
Australian trip, I met the CEO of Wine Australia, and we had a good old chat about what's happening within both industries.
Well, maybe we'll save that one to next week.
Okay.
Have you got some insights?
I have, yes.
All right, the Wine Vault, winevaulttv.com, also the Wine Vault on Twitter as well. Go and check them out.
Au revoir.
Thanks very much,
À bientôt.
Jason. And cheers, Hamish.
Bye.